Thanks for joining, everyone. Look, we just wanted to talk today a little bit about careers in IT, and it can be a tough gig to get into if you don't have the right sort of connections or even qualifications or training, but we can assist with that. And I'm just going to post into the chat. Once we've finished today's webinar, if I can get everybody to, if Brian hasn't already got it, email your resume through, because we do have a number of clients that are looking for some trainees at the moment. I'm guessing that everybody here is in an open to work situation, that you're looking for some work. So we do want to try and get that focused in and get those through to the employers that are looking for traineeships. So traineeships, it's sort of something that when we talk about traineeships, it's if you like, it's the same as apprenticeships, that you sort of think about the trades, and whether it's being a motor mechanic or whether it's being a plumber or a carpenter or whatever it is, they're usually associated with those sort of roles. But certainly traineeships are available in IT and for qualifications that are needed by employers at the moment. So one of the qualifications, or one of the needed skills that's around at the moment, is the entry to tech stuff, the help desk stuff. So learning about basic cloud technology, learning about basic programming, learning about some information security, working in ICT. We have connections with a company called Talent International, who is a specialist IT recruiter in South Australia. They're part of a global network, but we certainly talk to them here in South Australia. And at any given time, they'll tell us that they're looking for 100 plus people to work at entry-level jobs. So we have a 6-week course, the Entry to Tech skill set, which is not associated to a traineeship, but something you could do. You could do a 6-week traineeship, 6-week course, and we could try and get you out there and try and get your name out there, so you could at least try and get a foot in the door. If you're eligible for Skilling SA, the cost of that course is just $50, which is pretty cool. It's online. It's 6 weeks full time though, so it's not a work through it as you can type thing. It's a big commitment. It's a Monday to Friday course, 9 till 5 type thing, with a check-in with a trainer assessor every morning, and that'll get you through. So that course is a good one if you're looking at just getting a very low level entry tech type of job. What we're seeing at the moment is that around the globe, and in Australia specifically, that there is a level of zero unemployment in cybersecurity professionals. There are no cybersecurity professionals who are qualified in cybersecurity who are looking for work that don't have a job. So at the moment, and look, I checked a little while back, and if you do a search on Seek for jobs available open in information security, because really cybersecurity is a bit of a buzzword. It's not really necessarily used in the industry that much. It's more of a public facing word, so people understand what that's all about. But it's information security. Yeah, you could type in cybersecurity, but you won't get as many jobs come up. But there's probably up to 600 jobs vacant at the moment in South Australia for cybersecurity or information security. So that's something that's certainly worth having a look at. And it is eligible for traineeships. And it's a 12-month full-time course. It's 18 months part-time if you want to do it part-time. And we do have some employers that are looking for cybersecurity experts to go into traineeships. If you're part of a Skilling SA eligible cost, it's $17.70. If you go on a traineeship, obviously the employer would pay that sort of cost. So that course is a good course. It gives you lots of skills. To be a cybersecurity person, you need to know a lot about networks, you need to know a lot about cloud, you need to know a lot about operating systems, some programming, not a heck of a lot, but some programming for scripts and things, but definitely some low-level networking, so that you can get the security measures in place. So that's one of the courses we offer, and that is one that we have currently got trainees that are on a course doing that particular course and have a traineeship. And I guess it's a good time to talk about that course, because in September we started a Cert 4 in cybersecurity, And of the classroom students that came on board with that course, half of them, and they didn't at the time, they just came on to do the course, we referred resumes through to employers, and half of them have taken up jobs and are now doing their course as a traineeship. So they're actually being paid while they learn. So they're not doing that course full time now, though. They're certainly doing it part time, but they're earning while they learn instead of having to pay, like for a help debt or a HEX debt to go and do 4 years of uni or whatever. You can actually get paid and do a traineeship for a year or two, and be an active member in the ICT working community, and in particular in cybersecurity. So that's a course that we've got starting soon. Probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks, we will have one of those starting. We're still talking to a few employers with numbers and things at the moment to get these courses started, but they look like they'll be in the next month or so that these courses will be starting. So if that's something that interests you, then that's certainly worth signing up for that course, and then also for us to try and help you get a traineeship with that. And of course, there's just a standard Certificate 4. Look, we're not going to talk about the Certificate 3 today. There is a Certificate 3, and yes, it can be done as a traineeship, but in all honesty, we don't at Academy IT believe that the Certificate 3 is the right level for the traineeships we're looking for. We're certainly looking for a level 4 type of person that can think for themselves and certainly take on some added responsibility going forward as they grow their career. So we look at different streams within the Certificate 4, like networking, like programming, like systems administration. If you want to look after a network, a small network for someone and support the people, then the Cert 4 systems administration and support is the one you're looking for. This one is very much subject to traineeships because of the broad scope that we cover in a few of these streams. In the Certificate 4, you're going to get very much vendor training. It happens in the cyber as well, but you're going to get Microsoft training that is written by Microsoft, that is provided by Microsoft, is delivered by Microsoft certified professionals. And you're going to get training in things like Python coding. Python's a language that's been around for a long time, but it's certainly at the fore at the moment as being one of the most popular and mostly used programming languages around the globe. And it is the programming language of choice for cybersecurity specialists because it's so good at scripting. There's also MIL 2 certification courses that you would do. So the Information Systems Security Officer, or the CISO, the Certified Information Systems Security Officer, is a course that is quite heavy. It does talk a lot about the security of networks, encryption and digital certificates and keys and things, but there are things you need to know. So they're in there. We don't just sort of let people out in the wild, I guess, if you like. We certainly teach you the low-level stuff too. So there's the hardware technician type stuff in there as well, the operating technician type stuff, so that you're not sort of lost in some sort of middle land. So the Cert 4 Information Technology, we have a few companies at the moment looking for people there. And it would be fair to say probably in the next month or so, they'll be looking for 20 to 25 trainees to get onto that course. So that's something that you could register an interest in, and we can certainly put your resume forward to those companies to see if they'll have a look and support you on a traineeship. If you're not so sure about a traineeship yet, you could look at the AWS Restart program. That is a program that is free to do. It does go through certainly a lot of the AWS Cloud Foundations, and you'll actually study for and do the exam for the AWS Cloud Practitioner. And it runs through Linux, and it runs through Python programming, network security, database. It is a pretty heavy 12 weeks. There's a lot involved in that. It's what we would classify as a boot camp, that you're in 5 days a week. And there'll be concepts there that you'll be introduced to that you haven't have heard before, but certainly you will learn those, and there's enough learning in there to do that. And that can be a good way to start your career. So that's one to think about. We've got a program running in that pretty shortly, in the next 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, I think. And it's 12 weeks, full-time, Monday to Friday. It is generally slated as being an in-person, face-to-face course. Obviously, there's a few things going on with the COVID issues around at the moment, so we're just waiting to get advice a bit closer to start dates as to whether we'll be running that as a Zooms type thing, as we're doing today, or whether we'll be running it in a classroom. So that's something that we'll sort of take on board as we come into it. But just to give you an idea, for a cybersecurity professional, the most common salary is about 100,000 a year, but that's for someone that's obviously been in for a while and they've got a bit of a background in it. But when I looked at these in Australia, cybersecurity, information security jobs, there was like 530 jobs available, and this was just before Christmas. I looked at these when there's not that many jobs around that are being advertised. But there's really good prospects in cybersecurity. It's expected to have job growth of around 20% over the next 5 years. And it's a job that people are satisfied doing. So it's a job that you can really get your teeth into. And if you think about doing your systems administration type stuff, the salary is not a lot different, 90K. Obviously, that's for a seasoned administrator. It's not uncommon to sort of start those support, help desky roles on that sort of 40 to 50K. But certainly some of the traineeships that people have been signing up recently are over 50K a year to start off with. So a starting salary of over $50,000. So, and you're being also paid to learn while you're doing that as well. And of course, there is coding. You can be a software programmer. And look, the jobs growth in that is great as well, 30% job growth. It's interesting, though, that there's 3,000 job opportunities. I'm not saying that's interesting. That's not surprising, because coding is such an important skill now in IT. The salary is the surprising part, that it says the most common salary is 70K. But that's because of the nature of the programming or programmer type market, where you've got a lot of people that work on this on a contract basis and things like that. But it's not uncommon for a good coder who is conversant in corporate type languages for enterprise level applications to be earning over $120,000 a year. So that's not unusual. And of course, there's networking. So networking is still one of the most popular areas, and also one of the areas that has the highest job growth. Being a networking professional, and I'm a networking professional. That's what I do. I'm a certified network engineer through Microsoft. And look, the job opportunities are great. Salaries of 100K are not uncommon. Obviously, you need to build to that. You may start at a lower salary, 50, 60K on a traineeship, something like that. But certainly networking is a job role that is akin to cybersecurity. So networking back in the day, all the cybersecurity investigative staff and the units that we've got now for cybersecurity is what we used to do when we'd get the phone call from someone and say, hey, I think we've got a problem. We used to do a lot of that cybersecurity stuff as network engineers. So there's some of the courses that we've got on offer, and we've got some opportunities for you to look at some chances to get a traineeship with about 3 or 4 companies that we're working with at the moment. One in particular is looking really at us at the moment to try and get the resumes out to them, because they're really dead keen to get some of these happening straight away. So that's something that we'll look at for you if you send through your resumes. I just wanted to play a couple of little videos, so bear with me while I just grab that up on the screen. There it is.
I'm delighted to welcome Cognizant, one of the world's leading professional service companies, to South Australia, where they will establish their new delivery centre. Already employing almost 300,000 employees globally, this new delivery centre will enable the expansion of Cognizant's Australian-based workforce through the creation of up to 1,600 digital roles right here in Adelaide. Cognizant will be in good company with the likes of Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure Space and Nokia 5G, all based in Adelaide. It's testament to our global reputation within the high-tech sector that South Australia continues to attract multinational companies who are creating the jobs of the future. We place great importance on the building skills, education and diversity within our high-tech sector, with Adelaide's AI ecosystem attracting the best graduates in the world together with the best global researchers. And as a result, Cognizant will be able to offer local clients more direct access to highly skilled experts in the area of artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud computing and data analytics to help them solve their most important business challenges. Our state is a world leader in green energy, with about 71% of our energy produced from renewable sources. This growth in our green economy also gives Cognizant the ability to build a sustainability centre of excellence to help their clients drive carbon neutrality as fast and as efficiently as they can. As the third most livable city in the world, it makes sense that people want to be here, living, working and thriving in Adelaide.
You wouldn't think a programming role is about being creative, but in my world it actually is. Because even though I don't use paints and brushes, I actually get to have an input into how things are built, into the designs of stuff. And a lot of other companies, they don't allow you to explore that, but when you're in Cognizant, they want that to be part of your journey. They want you to be creative, to express yourself however you like.
There's so much opportunity here with Cognizant. There's an opportunity to learn new skills. We have a massive team with lots and lots of knowledge, lots of different personas where you can learn lots of new information. And there's an opportunity to grow because we've got this massive growth culture.
I work with some amazing minds in our team, and we are helping each other, learning from each other and pushing each other to do more. My managers and the senior management are giving me a wonderful platform where I can be myself and implement my ideas. Since day one, I think my managers have been pushing me to get certifications, learn more skills so that I'm able to increase my industry value.
So the team is very open and very contributing, very collaborative as well. So it's pretty nice, like meeting the people from all the different cultures, not only like Australians, but yeah, from India, from Ireland, from Britain. So meeting all the people from different cultures.
We have all the team members sitting next to each other. We have leaders sitting next to us. We can chat everything, anything we have in our mind, and we can go out for lunch or coffee anytime. Previously, I was working for a product company where I was not getting enough opportunities to work on new technologies. But at Cognizant, we look out for all the new things which are happening in the market.
Going into the larger offsite areas, you're in that environment where there's lots of people just working together, sharing knowledge, that skill that you need, that higher level. Even if you're not quite there, it'll make you get there.
Cognizant will continue to be pioneering in the technology field, and the way we are leading in Australia is really great. It's one of the top companies to work for.
What isn't next, really? We could go as far as we want to do. We've got lots and lots of clients. It's a massive growth market, and we're really proving on the clients that we have at the moment that we're delivering really good solutions and coming up with really good outcomes. So I think the limitation is endless.
All right. Now, the reason we showed that video is because Cognizant is actually one of the employers that wants to work with us for some trainees at the moment. And they're certainly looking to employ around 20 trainees in the coming couple of weeks. So we'd be keen to get some resumes for you guys. Now, if you're sort of thinking to yourself that you're not sure if IT is for you, what I can say is that if you are breathing, there's a role in IT for you. You know, whether it's that front-facing, you know, service desk type role, or whether it's working for a small council or you know, municipality, or through a small company, and you're just looking after the PCs for people. I'm guessing that most of you are the go-to people in your family when something goes wrong with the IT stuff, and you've probably got a bit of a nous for it, and you've got a bit of a will to sort of help people out with that. Then that's the sort of aptitude that we're looking for these traineeships. So it's certainly something that you can get into. I was certainly a career changer. I didn't always work in IT. I worked in retail for 17 years. I didn't finish high school, but it doesn't mean you can't get into IT. You don't have to go to university for 4 years to get a role. You can certainly get one before you've had too much training and get onto a traineeship. If you've had a little bit of training, that's going to help. So if you've done some training, or you're thinking about doing some training, then certainly register for training and certainly send through resumes, and we can get those through to Cognizant and also to, I think we've got one other we're sending to at the moment. Brian, is that right?
That's right, Michael. So Cognizant is the front runner and the largest of these companies that we're partnering with officially. The other one that's about ready to go is a company called Chamonix. And likewise, they're looking for these same numbers. And back to Cognizant's 20 that Michael mentioned, it's 20 now, and they're going to be looking for lots more over time. And they're talking about maybe even up to 50 by the end of March, and then hundreds beyond that into the next 2 years. So it's a perfect time to consider a job in IT, because unlike years previous where companies weren't employing IT trainees, today they are in droves. Other companies, include the likes of Deloitte and PricewaterhouseCoopers and Accenture. These are large organisations wanting many, many new staff, and they're not going to all come from university, which is why traineeships are being offered so as we can get new people in. We're looking for, as Michael said and Dale said before, people with a passion to get into IT. It doesn't matter that you may not have any IT background officially, but this is what traineeships are for, to teach you that. So with a traineeship, as been said by my team, it's get paid, earn and learn. So that means you're getting trained on the job, and you'll also be getting some training off the job, and that off the job training will be done by my Academy IT technical trainers, and they're all certified with the Microsofts, etc. And it's a good opportunity. It's a great opportunity. The salaries are excellent, much better than many jobs, and the starting salary begins, and it can only go up, and it will go up and up and up. But great opportunity. It's great times. Now is the time to get in. And as my team has said, if you're interested in being presented to potential employers for a traineeship position, you need to send me your CV, your resume, and we can take it from there. And of course, with you sending me your CV, I will then assume that I've got your permission to forward that on. So if I don't have your permission, don't send it to me. But great time, guys.
Yep, definitely. And also, Darryl might even type in a URL you can go to for an expression of interest form for some courses. So I'm not sure if you're aware. Let's just see a thumbs up. Have you all guys heard of Lot 14? So give us a thumbs up if you've heard of Lot 14. Okay, so Lot 14 is actually the ground on where the old city hospital used to be, sort of over by Frome Road there. And what they're doing in there is they're creating a tech hub and also a cybersecurity centre of excellence in there. And what they've got is commitment from large companies like Cognizant. So Cognizant's moving in there, and they're putting in one of their now centres, their now service centres, so their response centres. And they're looking over the next year and a half for about 1,500 people to be working in that centre. Now, also, Deloitte have made a similar announcement in recent times. MTEX Global has made that recent announcement as well. And people like Google, AWS, Microsoft, they're all going into that center of excellence. There's already some large defense companies in there as well. There's also some large cybersecurity firms like DTEX and Splunk are already in there. And because of that, there's going to be a real shortage of IT people in the next 4, 8, 12 months, because you're going to have these dozen or so companies that are moving into Adelaide and are going to be looking for people to support their clients. And just to give you an idea, that we're not talking small companies here. The company that we're talking about, Cognizant, has over 300,000 employees globally. Like, they are a huge company. And they're coming here to Adelaide. They're putting a centre here in Adelaide. They've got centres already. They've got some in Sydney and Australia. They've already got those. But they had a choice to come here or Brisbane, and they chose to come here. So the talent pool, they're very keen to get that up and running. So certainly get those resumes into us. Now, if you don't get selected on the first round, it's certainly worth expressing interest in the course to start getting going, whether it's that short 6-week skill set that'll only cost you $50 and six weeks of your time. If it's the free AWS course, there are some limitations for that one. I think you have to be under 25 for that to be free. I think it.
We can. We've got approval from state government, Michael, to put in 50% at least over 24.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so it shouldn't matter if you want to do that. There's a 12-week commitment. It's 3 months commitment. You will learn a lot in that course. And then you can get those skills. And look, the last course we ran, some people have got jobs from that, some haven't yet, but certainly there's opportunities with that course as well. If you're into or want to do cybersecurity, then the Cert 4 in cybersecurity, if you're a job trainer, eligible person for South Australian funding, then it's $1,770 over a payment plan to do that course. It's a 12-month program full-time, or it's an 18-month program part-time. And there's also the regular certificate 4, which is $19.95 if you're a job trainer eligible South Australia funded person. So those courses are there. They're going to run. In a lot of cases, you may be sitting next to some of the trainees that have got a traineeship. You'll be learning the same sort of things that they'll be learning, and then hopefully get picked up in the second round of traineeships as well if you don't get that first one. But certainly get those resumes in. I can't stress enough, because we're certainly looking for a heap of resumes to send on to Cognizant. Well, we may have come to a conclusion there, folks, so we appreciate your time. And certainly if you can get those resumes to us in the next day or two, that'd be great. And then hopefully you'll hear something in the next couple of weeks as they start to go through the resumes. If you are interested, Daryl has put up the expression of interest forms there, so that you can go and have a look at that and fill that out if you're interested in doing a course, as well as a traineeship. But happy if you're not working or you're not doing anything else and you want to enroll into one of those courses until you get a traineeship, that's a good way to go. As I said, the guys that started doing training in September, half of them were already taken up traineeships, and they didn't really expect to. So I'm like, oh, really? Traineeship? Sure. I can put my name forward. And it was good because we had some classroom history with them, and we knew that person, and they were sort of more likely, if you like, to get to get a look in. All right, well, thanks very much for your attendance today. We appreciate you taking your time out to have a bit of a listen to us bag on for about half an hour. And thank you, Daryl, for hosting. Thank you very much.